Welcome home, everybody. Good to see you guys. Pound it. Bring it in. Welcome to the Messenger's Message channel. You guys look good. You guys look real good. So today is going to be a little bit different because so I got a few. So last time I told you guys how much that St. Patrick's Day is one of my favorite holidays. So it goes obviously Christmas #1, and then to me most important fun ones is St. Patrick's Day and Easter, just because of their significance, and then the other ones that are very important to me are Memorial and Veterans Day, and then Thanksgiving, and so on and so forth. A little bit different, I know. Most people will go, "What in the world?" But so when I told people that, though, people were asking, "Well, why?" Because then, of course, then they brought up the stereotypes of St. Patrick's Day. So I want to make this video a little bit of why St. Patrick's Day is so important to me, and really basically what St. Patrick's Day truly means, instead of what the world has turned St. Patrick's Day into. So, because there's a lot of misconceptions about both St. Patrick the person and also St. Patrick's Day itself. I mean, normally as soon as you say, well, happy St. Patrick's Day, you think of green, top hats, leprechauns, 3-leaf clovers, drinking, stuff like that. Very stereotypical stuff like that. However, that's not what St. Patrick was about. I mean, St. Patrick wasn't even Irish, and also his national color was not green. Well, not national color, but his color wasn't green. It was blue. It only correlated to green because Ireland associates itself with green, so eventually they just kind of changed it over. That, and there's a whole other story. But so what I want to do, though, is so next week I want to do actually the story of St. Patrick and the incredible story that it is. It's a story of forgiveness, of supernatural events, and it's a truly astonishing story. And I mean, another misconception: he wasn't even a saint, and his name wasn't Patrick. It was changed. So a lot of really interesting things to come up. So to kind of show you what really St. Patrick, well, in the next week, who St. Patrick really was. This week I want to kind of explain what St. Patrick's Day is about. Truly. Not about the booze and the parties and the green and the green top hats, the leprechauns and all that other stuff. It's not about that. That all was associated just because of Ireland. Which Ireland is one of my favorite countries of all time. I know that I have Irish blood in me. I don't know how much, but I know. I mean, maybe you could tell. I don't know. But it's something that is very important to me, and honestly is a country I would love to go see, love to go visit, and love to explore and travel. I know quite a bit of history about it, and so probably another reason why I really love St. Patrick's Day, because I just am a huge fanatic about Ireland. I even know a few Celtic words and, well, Gaelic words and such. And I listen to a lot of Irish Celtic music, especially during March. But anyway, so with that said, the real reason why I love, not the real reason, but so St. Patrick's Day isn't about the booze and all that, obviously. I mean, I never understood how we have a holiday dedicated to basically to a saint, somebody a Christian saint. Not saying that Christians, don't drink alcohol. I mean, Jesus. People expect that Jesus, because he was Jewish, drank. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. But why are we having a saint? The holiest of holies with beer or alcohol. Doesn't make sense to me, but that's just me. So the real thing that I love about St. Patrick's Day is the true meaning behind it, or at least what it should be, or was. It was it was a holiday to basically represent one man's dedication that would turn a completely pagan, very even violent, and very, well, I mean, very difficult people, and turn them to God. An entire nation, just one man's dedication to follow Christ, and him able to change an entire country for not just for a little bit. It wasn't like he just went in, hey, you guys should do this, and eventually everyone was like, oh, okay, whatever. And then a few years later, well, this didn't really work. We're going back the other way. No, no, no. This was a person who was so dedicated to what God called him to do that he strenuously worked, and he was able to change the entire island. All of Ireland turned to Christianity because of St. Patrick. And it wasn't only for a short time, it was for centuries. In fact, during the Dark Ages, where basically the Bible was kind of hidden, and only the priests and stuff were able to read, Christianity became very it was not the real Christianity. It was very selfish, it was one of the reasons why they call it the Dark Ages, one of them. But in Ireland, it was one of the few places where the Bible was readily not available, but it was shown and people could come in, read, and it was translated in ways that people could understand. And not only that, but even so, the Celtic crosses and all these things, the carvings that they would lay were imageries and stories that were of the Bible. So even though you may not have a Bible with you, everywhere you go, all these different symbols would tell stories that happened in the Bible. So that's one thing. It was a way that it's a holiday which shows how you can take one of people who people have given up on, and one man and his dedication and his fellow following of the Lord changed an entire country. In fact, change the entire, I would say, entire world for the better. And it's a holiday for forgiveness. I mean, remember that St. Patrick, he was basically enslaved by the Irish. Then he escaped, and then he came back to save them. So it's a beautiful story of forgiveness, which is another reason why I love this holiday. It's a perfect example of forgiveness, a perfect example of never giving up on somebody who, sometimes deserves it. It's a perfect example of how one person who is completely sold out for God can change the world. And I love that. And then there's just the cool things like it's Irish. So, love Ireland, I've not met too many people, but I mean, from what I hear and who doesn't love Irish? I mean, first there's that accent. I mean, right? It's just, there's so much. I would like to go into more detail, but I want you to understand what this holiday truly represents. It's not about the drinking. It's not about the green and the, speaking, trying to speak Irish, even though a lot of people, let's be honest, should not try to speak Irish. It's about one man's dedication to follow God and to change an entire country so that they would not have eternal damnation, that they would save them. It's about a day of forgiveness. It's a day about fellowship, I would even say, which is probably why they go so extreme with the drinking and stuff. That might be the one thing that, not the drinking, but the fellowship. St. Patrick's Day should be a day where you take time to be with family and friends, to be merry and jolly. I really hope that you guys see that. I mean, think of this. St. Patrick's Day is probably one of the only, I want to make sure, it's one of the very few, maybe one of like 3, 4, 5, very few holidays that are actually completely Christian based. Every single other holiday was either a pagan holiday turned Christian, or either just a pagan holiday like Halloween. I mean, even Thanksgiving, it was actually technically, it was turned Christian. Christmas, it was a pagan holiday for, the changing of the seasons. We turned it into Christmas. Christians turned it into Christmas. Yeah, it's one of St. Patrick's Day is one of the few Christian holidays. But that's not really all that important. It's just one of those things, hot facts for you. But anyway, with that, I really hope you guys see and kind of get a better understanding of what St. Patrick's Day really is and all about. And hope to see you guys on St. Patrick's Day. Hope you guys go spend time with friends and family during St. Patrick's Day and have a good time. Don't get too crazy. Don't get, with friends. Not the other type of crazy. But anyway, so I love you guys. He definitely absolutely love you. And I'll see you in the next one. Later. It's still recording.